Have you noticed how, as you age, your legs become your weak links? Where once you could easily run for a bus or walk for hours in the park, today, just a couple of flights of stairs is enough to make you want to catch your breath. Many people resign themselves to it. Well, what can you do, age? But believe me, it's not a death sentence. And today I'll tell you something that can literally restore strength and lightness to your legs. My name is Dr. Sergey Ivanov. I am a physician with over 30 years of experience. Over these years, thousands of patients have passed through my hands, and almost every second person over 55 complained about their legs, weakness, pain, swelling, heaviness. I've seen how this gradually robs a person of the joy of life. People stop walking, are afraid to leave the house unnecessarily, and begin to depend on the help of loved ones. But I've also seen the opposite, people who, thanks to simple habits, regained their strength, confidence, and desire to live an active life. That's why I want to talk to you today about what we eat in the morning. It may seem like a small thing, but breakfast is the foundation of the entire day. It can give our legs the strength and energy that many have long forgotten. I'll tell you about 3 simple foods that are found in almost every home. But pay attention, I'll leave the most important thing for the end of the video. This is something that can change not only your legs, but also your future. I reveal this secret only to my most trusted patients, and today I'll share it with you. And now let me ask you, do you allow yourself to enjoy life as much as you did in your youth? Remember that feeling when you could easily climb the stairs without worrying about your knees, when a walk in the woods or dancing on holidays felt natural and joyful? Well, you can get that feeling back, yes, even after 60 or 70 years, and I'll tell you how. Why am I saying this so insistently? Because leg strength is our freedom. Strong legs, that means you can go outside, hug your grandchildren, visit, travel, live without fear, fall or remain confined to a chair. But weak legs are a slow path to limitation, loneliness and illness. I beg you, don't ignore this signal. And one more thing. Many people think that loss of leg strength is only related to age, but in my experience, this is not the case. Yes, age plays a role, but what we eat and how we take care of ourselves matters far more. There are simple foods that nourish muscles, strengthen blood vessels, and improve circulation, and there are those that, on the contrary, rob you of your health and make your legs increasingly weak. And the most amazing thing is that most people don't even know this. I'll tell the stories of my patients. One man in 72 who, after changing his breakfast, began walking in the mornings again without a cane. A woman in 68 who began dancing again at her grandchildren's weddings. These are not miracles, but the right attitude to what we put on our plates. And you know, I saved the most valuable and simple discovery for the end of this video. It's something even doctors rarely talk about. If you watch to the end, you'll understand that leg strength can return, and it doesn't require expensive medications or complicated techniques. Now I'll ask you another important question. Do you want to once again feel the lightness of your steps? The confidence and joy of movement that your youth once gave you? If so, stay with me. Believe me, these 30 minutes can change your perspective on your usual foods and perhaps restore what you thought you'd already lost. When we're young, we rarely consider that our legs are the main foundation of our lives. They carry us every day, supporting our entire body weight for hours, helping us move, work, and enjoy life. But as we age, we increasingly notice that this foundation is beginning to crack, legs become heavier, tire more quickly, and there is pain in the knees and calf muscles. Sometimes even a feeling of anemia. I'll explain why this happens in simple terms, without complex medical jargon. As we age, our body loses muscle mass. This process is called sarcopenia. Muscles, especially in the legs, gradually become thinner and weaker, while in our youth we could easily run, jump, or dance all night. After 60, even a simple walk can be difficult, but it's not just the muscles. There are also the blood vessels, our pipelines. Blood should flow freely through them, nourishing the muscles, joints, and nerves. But if the blood vessels are clogged, if blood circulation is poor, the legs receive less nutrition and oxygen. The result is swelling, cramps, heaviness, and fatigue. Now let's add another factor, nutrition. I beg you, don't ignore this. What we eat directly affects how strong or weak our legs will be. When the body gets little protein, little B vitamins, calcium, magnesium, omega-3, muscles begin to lose strength faster. And if there's too much sugar, trans fats, and salt on the table, blood vessels get clogged, joints become inflamed, and every movement becomes increasingly difficult. I want to tell you a story. A 69-year-old man, a former teacher, came to see me. He complained, "Doctor, I can't go for a walk with my wife. We used to walk together in the park, but now after 15 minutes I'm already looking for a bench." An examination revealed that his leg muscles had weakened significantly and his diet was extremely poor. For breakfast, he had sandwiches with sausage, coffee, and sometimes a sweet bun. No protein, no foods that could give his legs energy. We gradually adjusted his morning diet, adding simple foods that everyone has in their refrigerator. And after a couple of months he was back. "Doctor, I'm walking for an hour again. I even started getting up from the couch without any effort." That's why I always say, legs don't age because of age, but because we don't feed them enough. In middle age, nutrition plays an even greater role than in youth. At 20, the body forgives mistakes. You can eat whatever you want, and your legs will still be strong. But after 50, every bite of food either helps us maintain our freedom of movement or conversely, slowly steals it. Another important point is psychology. When a person feels weak in their legs, they begin to move less, and when you move less, the muscles weaken even faster. It's a vicious circle: weak legs, less movement, even weaker legs. But the good news is that this cycle can be broken, and it all starts with a simple breakfast. I sometimes compare legs to the roots of a tree. If the roots are weak, the tree can fall from the first strong wind, but if the roots are nourished, if they are strong and deep, the tree lives for decades, despite storms. It's the same with your legs. If you feed them with the right food every morning, they become your strong roots, keeping you going. In my experience, it's after age 60 that people begin to especially acutely feel the connection between nutrition and strength. Legs. For the first time, someone wonders, why can't I walk as far as before? And the answer is almost always the same. The body requires care, energy, nutrition, and another example from practice. A 72-year-old woman, a former nurse, came complaining of constant leg cramps and fatigue. I asked what she ate in the morning. The answer: nothing special, tea and cookies, that's all. And this is at her age, when legs especially need protein, minerals, and vitamins. We replace the cookies with foods that strengthen muscles and improve blood flow. A month later she said, "Doctor, I don't believe it. The cramps have disappeared. I can garden again. And here's what I want you to remember. Nutrition is no small thing. It's the key to the strength of your legs." That's why I'll highlight 3 simple products that are found in every home, but which can work wonders. In the next part, I'll tell you about the first of these products, and you'll be surprised at how easy it is to restore strength and energy to your legs. But remember, I'll reveal the most important thing, the thing that will revolutionize your understanding of foot health, only at the end. This is my special secret, which I share only with my closest patients. And now let's move on to the first step, which can literally change the condition of your legs. I'll tell you right away, we're not talking about some rare or expensive supplements, but about a simple product that almost every home has. It's an egg. Yes, the most ordinary chicken egg, the one we're used to seeing on breakfast. Many underestimate its power. In vain. One egg contains everything necessary for the birth of a new life: protein, vitamins, minerals, omega acids, lecithin. All of this is the building material for our muscles, vessels, and nerves. Why is this so important, particularly for the legs? Protein. The legs are the largest muscles in the body. The thighs, buttocks, calves, they literally eat protein to stay strong. Without protein, muscles lose tone and gradually weaken. One egg contains about 6 grams of pure protein, perfectly absorbed by the body. Vitamin D, also called the sunshine vitamin. It is necessary for strong bones and calcium absorption. When there is not enough of it, bones become brittle, joints suffer, and legs begin to give way. Eggs contain vitamin D in its natural form, lecithin and choline. These substances improve nerve and brain function. After all, it's the nerves that send the signal to the muscles: move. When the nerves work clearly, your legs obey you better, coordination improves, and the risk of falls decreases. Omega-3 fatty acids. They strengthen blood vessels and improve circulation, which means your muscles receive more nutrition and oxygen. I would like to tell you a story. I had a patient, Alexander Petrovich, year-old Alexander. He complained that his legs had become weak. He had difficulty climbing stairs. He quickly tired even from short walks. We began to analyze his diet, and it turned out that he avoided eggs because he had heard they were bad for the heart. I explained to him that this was an outdated myth and that 1 egg a day was not only safe but also extremely beneficial for his legs. We included boiled eggs, omelets, and sometimes fried eggs in his breakfast, with vegetables. After 2 months he came and said, Doctor, I'm climbing up too. The third floor again without stopping. My confidence has returned. You see, no miracles, just simple, accessible food, and here's my practical advice for you. Start every morning with 1 egg boiled in an omelette with vegetables, whatever you prefer, but the main thing is to do it regularly. Try it for at least a week. I beg you, don't put it off. In just a few days, you'll notice your legs are less tired and you'll feel lighter in your movements. If you're worried about your cholesterol, remember, 1 egg a day is absolutely safe, and for older people it's even beneficial because it provides valuable protein and micronutrients. And now an important point. I mentioned the first product, but there's also a second one, which not only strengthens your legs but also literally slows down brain aging. Yes, there's a direct connection. When you eat this product regularly for breakfast, you protect your legs, your memory, and your mental clarity. And I'll talk about this in the second recommendation. So friends, we've taken the first step, the egg, a source of protein and vitamins for your leg muscles. But there's another product which is no less important, and frankly, I always emphasize its special role for people over 60. This product is walnuts. Yes, again, something many people have right at home, and if an egg is muscle strength, then a nut is strength for vascular and brain function. After all, legs aren't just muscles and bones, they're also circulatory. If blood flows freely, muscles are nourished and nerves receive clear signals. Why are walnuts so valuable? Omega-3 and omega-6 fatty acids, they improve vascular elasticity and prevent them from clogging. This means blood flow to the legs is improved, swelling, cramps, and the feeling of heaviness are reduced. Vitamin E and antioxidants, they protect blood vessels and cells from aging. This is what slows down the aging process. Magnesium and potassium, these minerals are necessary for the normal functioning of muscles and the heart. When they are deficient, legs cramp, tremors, and fatigue occur. They are also beneficial for the brain. Science has proven that regular consumption of walnuts slows the decline of memory and cognitive function, meaning that by strengthening your legs, you are simultaneously promoting mental clarity. I'd like to give you an example. A woman, Valentina Mikhailovna, 74, once came to see me. She complained, "Doctor, my legs are like stone. I constantly get aching and cramping at night." We talked, and it turned out that she had long since given up nuts, considering them too heavy. I suggested a simple rule, 3 to 4 walnuts every day for breakfast or as a snack. A month later, she came back and said, "Believe it or not, my night cramps have disappeared and I've started to feel more energetic. Even my mood has improved." Do you understand what this means? A small handful of nuts and the quality of life changes. Here's my practical advice. Start adding at least 3 to 5 walnut halves to your breakfast. You can have them with yogurt, porridge, cottage cheese, or just with a cup of tea. It's important to do this regularly. In my experience, people who continue to eat nuts after 60 not only suffer less from leg weakness but also maintain mental clarity longer than their peers. And one more important point, nuts are a slow-acting fuel. They give you energy gradually, sustaining you throughout the entire day. This means you will feel less tired, even if the day is long. But there is a subtlety that many underestimate. Even if you eat eggs and nuts, there is one more factor that can literally destroy your legs and your entire body if you overlook it. It slowly, imperceptibly erodes your health, and I have seen this too often in my patients. I will talk about this in the third recommendation, and believe me, this is very important. We have already talked about eggs, a source of strength for muscles. We have discussed walnuts, protectors of blood vessels and the brain, but there is one more product without which all this will not work as it should, and I have noticed that it is this product that is most often underestimated. This product is cottage cheese. Why cottage cheese? Because it contains the main building material for bones and joints, calcium. After 50, the body loses the ability to absorb calcium as well as in youth, and if we do not, we give him an additional source. Bones become brittle, joints begin to ache, and legs lose strength. Strong muscles are great, but if bones are weak, you still won't be able to feel confident. What does cottage cheese provide? Calcium. It strengthens bones, reduces the risk of fractures, and makes joints more stable. Casein is a slow-digesting protein. It nourishes muscles gradually, keeping them toned even at night. Phosphorus and magnesium, when combined with calcium, they improve the function of joints and the nervous system. I'd like to tell you a story. My patient Nikolai Andreevich, 67, was always an active person, but in recent years he became afraid of falls. His legs felt like they were giving out, an examination revealed that he had a severe calcium deficiency. He almost never ate dairy products. I don't like milk, and I think cottage cheese is boring food. We introduced a rule, at least 100 grams of cottage cheese every other day. You can have it with honey, berries, or nuts. After 6 months, he said, "Doctor, I feel confident again. Even the way I walk has changed. My legs have become stronger." This is an example of how a simple habit can literally give you back your footing in life. Here's my advice. Add cottage cheese to your diet. Eat at least 3 or 4 times a week. Let it be breakfast or a light dinner. 100,150 grams is enough to nourish your bones and muscles. Now, an important warning. If you ignore calcium and protein, if you don't take care of your bones, then even the strongest muscles won't save you. A person can exercise, eat meat, take vitamins, but with weak bones, one awkward movement or fall can end in a fracture. I've seen too many patients who said, "Doctor, I just tripped," and then they spent 6 months in a cast or even bedridden. This destroys a person slowly and imperceptibly. First, a slight unsteadiness, then knee pain, then a fracture. I beg you, don't let it come to this. Start right now while you have the chance to strengthen your legs, and you see how it all comes together. Eggs nourish the muscles, nuts strengthen blood vessels and the brain, cottage cheese makes bones strong. These are 3 simple steps that restore strength to your legs, a confident gait and a joy of movement. But this is also very important. There is one more point which I mentioned at the very beginning, something I usually share only with my closest patients. This is what enhances the effect of all 3 products, and literally gives your legs a second youth, and this is exactly what I will talk about in the finale. So friends, let's stop for a minute and recall the 3 main steps we talked about today. The first step is eggs. The foundation for your muscles. Strong leg muscles mean a confident gait, freedom of movement, and the absence of limpness and weakness. The second step is walnuts. This supports blood vessels and the brain. They nourish the nerves, improve circulation, and slow down aging. The third step is cottage cheese. This means strong bones and healthy joints. Without strong bones, muscles are powerless. These 3 simple foods are found in every home, and they form the foundation of your leg strength. But let me add what I promised to tell you at the very end. The most important secret is consistency and small steps. Yes, that's right. There are frequent outbursts when a person suddenly decides to eat right for a couple of days and then returns to buns and sweets and small but consistent habits. Every day, 1 egg, a few nuts, a serving of cottage cheese. These simple steps add up over months and years, and then your legs begin to thank you with strength, resilience, and lightness. In my experience, consistency works wonders. I've seen patients who started small and after a few months became different people. They were walking in the park again, playing with their grandchildren, not afraid of stairs, and all this without expensive medications and complicated techniques. And here's my little bonus for you. A simple technique that enhances the effects of proper nutrition. Every morning after breakfast, do a short exercise. Sit on a chair, raise your toes, hold for 5 seconds and lower. Repeat 10 times, then stand up, raise slightly on your toes, hold for 3 seconds and lower. Do the same 10 times. This will take no more than 2 minutes, but it will get the blood flowing, activate the muscles, and send your legs the signal, "I am alive, I am working, I am strong." Another little ritual is gratitude. After breakfast, say to yourself, "I take care of my legs, I want to be active and strong." Don't be surprised, even words affect the body because they reinforce new habits. And now I want to ask you one thing. Please don't treat what you've heard as something interesting, but not for me. This applies to everyone. Your legs are your freedom. As long as they are strong, you live an active life. When they weak, life becomes narrow and limited. I implore you, start tomorrow. Add these foods to your breakfast. Try it for at least a week and you will feel the difference. And remember, even small steps can change your life for the better. Take care of yourself. Your time is valuable at any age. And now I address you personally. Write in the comments which of these 3 tips is closest to you: eggs, nuts, or cottage cheese. Please show this video to your family and friends so they too know how easy it is to maintain strong legs. And of course, subscribe so you don't miss new conversations about health, nutrition, and the wisdom of adulthood. I'm Dr. Sergey Ivanov. Thank you for watching to the end. Your legs are your wings. Let them become strong again.